Alright, welcome back everybody, and today we're going to be working on, I'm going to go ahead and make a room and some objects, and we're going to get into some coding to draw the sprites and stuff. Alright, so first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and make a room, because without a room you won't be able to test anything, because a room is basically, it lets GameMaker know that you have a place for your objects to appear in. So it's basically like the level or the, the level or the map. Let's see here. So yeah, that's all we have to do. You just come up here and click that window right there, the little window looking icon. That'll create a room. And that's what we did. Don't need to name it. It's the only room we're going to have. So yeah, that's that. Now, next thing we need to do is go ahead and create an object. For that, we just come up here and click the sphere icon. It tells you that it'll make an object. And since this is probably going to be the only object we have, we don't really need to name it, but it's probably just a good practice to go ahead and name it anyway. So I'm going to name it obj choose. And your names in GameMaker for sprites and objects and everything else, they are case sensitive. So you need to make sure that if you put a capital C here, you need to put that everywhere that references this object name. Same thing with the sprites over here. They've got capitals, so you need to make sure those letters are capitalized when you refer to them elsewhere. Alright, anyway. We've got the object choose here. It's kind of a small window. I'm going to close this stupid compiler here. Alright. So we don't really need a sprite for this because we're going to be drawing the sprites in the code. And to get the code, we're going to go ahead and click add event and click on the draw. If you've used a previous version of GameMaker, you probably didn't have all of these options for the draw event. There was, in the previous versions, there was a draw, and that was it. You just click that and it was done. But now we have these different options of like draw GUI, which is a graphical user interface, and resize. I actually haven't looked into what that is quite yet. But for now, all we need to do is just go ahead and click draw. That's pretty much the same as any previous versions, I believe. And then we come over here, click control, because, hold on, let me shrink this a little bit so I can get the whole thing in there. Alright, so you click control, because we want this option right here, the execute code. So just click that and drag it over here into the actions area, and that'll bring up some, a little code editor. Now, for drawing the objects, I'm going to go ahead and type draw and then underscore, and remember these graphics are called sprites. So we're going to draw underscore sprite, and then a parenthesis, and then we need the name of the sprite. So the first sprite I'm going to draw is the sprite rock. So SPR rock, comma, the sub image, which is 0, because it's only got one image, and the image numbering starts on 0. So the first image is actually 0, not 1. And then the next thing we need is the x coordinate. I'm going to go ahead and draw this at the x coordinate of wherever we place this particular object. So just type x, which is a preset variable, local variable for any object that you create, and then y for the y coordinate, because I wanted to just be at the same y coordinate as well. And then we end it with a semicolon, and that just tells GameMaker that that you've reached the end of a thing that you want it to do. You've reached the end of a specific command. So when it gets to this semicolon, it's going to go ahead and do this function. Then after that, we're going to do the same thing with the paper. So draw sprite, SPR paper, and 0 subimage. The x coordinate is going to be the same, but the y coordinate is going to be different. It's going to be right below the rock sprite. So for that, I'm going to hit y plus the size of the sprites, which the default is 32 by 32 pixels. So I'm going to go ahead and type 32 because we did not change the size of any of these sprites. Okay, and then a semicolon. And I'll explain to you why I'm leaving spaces here in just a moment. But anyway, we've got to draw the third sprite right now. So draw sprite. I really should have copy-pasted this stuff. Kept forgetting to though. Oh, there we go. Sprite scissors. Now to get the little pop-ups up that I'm getting here that are like helping me, giving me suggestions for what to type, you just want to click the, I think it's this one? Yeah, no, this one. The piece of paper with like a left arrow on it, enable code completion help, and that will bring up pop-ups telling you what GameMaker's best guess is for what you're trying to type, whether it's a variable or a sprite name or a function. Alright, so moving along, we've got subimage 0, x, and then for the y coordinate, we're just going to make that the sprite size plus this. So that's going to be 64. Because it's going to be underneath this and underneath this relative to the current y coordinate of the object, wherever we place that. Alright. And now the reason I've been putting spaces in between them is because I'm going to make comments here, and to do that you just hit 2 forward slashes, I think those are. Yeah, so you hit 2 forward slashes, and then anything you type after that is going to be a comment, which means that GameMaker will just skip that line of code because it realizes that that is just something the programmer put in there as a reference for himself. So explaining his code, essentially, which is what I'm doing here. I'm denoting that everything within this comment, or underneath this comment, is pertaining to the rock object, or the rock sprite. And then underneath that is paper. And then underneath that we've got scissors. Alright. So now, if we've done everything correctly, then when we come up here and hit play, oh wait, no, I forgot, we gotta hit room first. We gotta place the object. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it down here. Anywhere is fine, but I'm just picking the closest square pretty much. Alright, and then when we come up here and click the green arrow for play, we have our sprites there. And they're right under each other. In fact, paper is literally touching a rock. But that's okay, that's fine, because they're still underneath each other, and that's exactly what we wanted. Alright. Well, in the next tutorial, I'm going to be getting into some more coding, and I'm going to show you how to highlight the sprites, so that when you mouse over them, it'll draw a box around them. Just so that way the player can know that he is, in fact, hovering over the correct thing that he wants to select. Alright, that's it for now. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.